Good evening, live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. Here we present to you tonight's news bulletin. But first, the headlines. His Majesty the Sultan greets the Russian President on the occasion of the Sovereignty Declaration Day and greets the President of the Republic of the Philippines on his country's Independence Day. Assigned by His Majesty the Sultan, the Chairman of the Environment Authority participates in the 3rd United Nations Ocean Conference held in France. And Washington and Beijing agreed to resume the trade truce and ease Chinese restrictions on rare earth minerals exports. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has sent a cabal of greetings to His Excellency President Vladimir Putin of the Russian Federation on the occasion of the Sovereignty Declaration Day. His Majesty the Sultan also sent a cabal of greetings to His Excellency President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. of the Republic of the Philippines on his country's Independence Day anniversary. Assigned by His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Ali Al Amri, Chairman of the Environment Authority, is taking part in the activities of the 3rd United Nations Ocean Conference held in the city of Nice in France. His Excellency stressed in a speech on the sidelines of the event that the Sultanate of Oman is one of the pioneering countries in the field of preserving the marine environment, protection of oceans and marine life, diversification to achieve sustainable development. He said that the Sultanate of Oman has issued many decisions and regulations for enhancing the safety of oceans from pollution. He further stated that a number of procedures were taken years ago for the sustainability of the Omani seas, which made a rise on the clear and type level of strict indicators for protecting seas, by which the Sultanate of Oman has achieved the 9th place on the international level consecutively. He emphasized that the Sultanate of Oman is supporting all efforts to keep oceans safe and sustainable, as they represent the lung of the planet Earth, which absorbs more than 3% of the carbon dioxide. He concluded by saying that the Sultanate of Oman confirms its full adherence to all international pacts, laws and agreements which aim to preserve marine environment safety and its sustainability. More than 35 Palestinians were killed, most of them near an aid site in the central Gaza Strip. Medical officials at Shifa Hospital and Al-Quds Hospital reported that at least 25 people were killed and dozens wounded near the Netzarim area in the central Gaza Strip. They added that 10 others were killed in other Israeli military strikes targeting Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip. The ongoing Israeli bombardment of the Gaza Strip and the West Bank since October 2023 has resulted in the deaths of 16,382 Palestinian students and the injury of 23,532, according to the Minister of Education and Higher Education. The ministry said that 443 government schools and universities and their affiliated buildings, in addition to 91 affiliated with the United Nations Relief and Works Agency UNRWA, were bombed and vandalized in the Gaza Strip. 60 university buildings were completely destroyed and 20 educational institutions were severely damaged. 152 schools and 8 universities in the West Bank were stormed and vandalized, in addition to the 6 UNRWA schools in Jerusalem, which have remained closed since May 8th. The Israeli army is conducting a land leveling operation in the Bir Shu'aib area east of the town of Blida in the southern Lebanon. The Lebanese National News Agency announced that more than 50 Israeli soldiers crossed the Blue Line border in southern Lebanon at dawn in the Bir Shu'aib area east of the southern town of Blida. The agency added that Israel has not adhered to the terms of the ceasefire agreement between it and Lebanon, which began on November 27th. Its forces continue to carry out land leveling and shelling operations in the southern Lebanon and carry out raids in eastern Lebanon and the southern suburbs of Beirut. Its forces are also present at 5 locations in southern Lebanon. Russian forces carried out a drone strike on the eastern Ukrainian city of Kharkiv, killing at least 2 people and wounding dozens. Kharkiv's mayor confirmed that 54 people, including 8 children, were injured in addition to the damage to residential buildings and a large fire. The Ukrainian Air Force confirmed that Russian forces launched a large-scale air attack with 85 drones targeting Kharkiv and other areas. Ukrainian air defense systems intercepted 40 Russian drones. The United States and China announced that they had reached a framework aimed at reactivating the trade truce between the 2 countries and easing Chinese restrictions on rare earth minerals exports. The agreement came after 2 days of intensive talks in London, during which U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick stated that the 2 sides had developed an implementation plan for the agreement reached in Geneva last month to ease mutual tariffs that had reached record levels. For his part, Chinese Vice Minister of Commerce Li Zhigang confirmed that the agreement reflects the understandings reached during a call between the 2 presidents on June 5th and the Geneva meeting. Still to come in our news bulletin. Australian researchers discover a marine-derived fungus that can degrade polypropylene. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Minister of Labour signed a memorandum of cooperation with the Security and Safety Services LLC to finance 923 on-the-job training opportunities. The agreement is worth more than 1.2 million Omani riyals and provides for the training and qualification of national cadres in the field of security, safety and fisheries control, in addition to providing them with the necessary skills to perform their job duties. The memorandum was signed by His Excellency Sayyid Salim bin Musallam al-Busaidi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Labour for Human Resources Development. The Public Authority for Special Economic Zones and Free Zones announced the launch of a tender for the implementation of the administrative and commercial buildings complex in the Integrated Economic Zone in Al-Dhahira Governorate, Package 4. The tender stipulates the construction of a plaza for the Governorate's Integrated Economic Zone Business Center, Administrative Building, Commercial Center, in addition to Hotel and Health Center. The scope of work includes the implementation of civil works, electrical and mechanical works, and steel structure works for buildings. The work also includes the construction of internal roads, sewage networks, water, irrigation networks, and site coordination works. The area of land allocated for the complex reaches 50,000 square meters. The Dhofar Governorate is witnessing the opening of tourism projects, adding to existing ones in preparation for the Kharif Dhofar season 2025. The Minister of Heritage and Tourism will open the Dhofar Private Museum, a 3-star hotel in Mirbat with a capacity of 84 rooms, and luxury hotel apartments with a capacity of more than 200 rooms in Salalah, bringing the number of licensed residential and commercial buildings to 100. A tourism information Center will also be opened at the Hafa Beach Market. The Minister of Heritage and Tourism has developed a tourism promotion plan for the Kharif Dhofar season, along with marketing program for the various tourism seasons this year to attract diverse segments from around the world. The workshops on concepts and strategies for local added value in Al Buraymi Governorate review the concept of local content, its importance, objectives, financial evaluation mechanisms, and the methodology for developing local content in economic engines, in addition to introducing the Sultanate of Oman's local content plan for a period of 5 years. The workshop also included the implementation of interactive practical training for participants aimed at applying theoretical concepts in a practical way and enhancing awareness of how to build effective local content plans in institutions and companies. Now, all the way to Australia. Australian researchers discover a marine-derived fungus that can degrade polypropylene, representing a breakthrough in the battle against plastic waste. Here is a report on that.
A newly isolated marine-derived fungus that can degrade polypropylene, discovered by Australian researchers, could represent a breakthrough in the battle against plastic waste. The team at the University of Sydney, supervised by Professor Ali Abbas, said that while lab testing is still ongoing, the initial results show a promising improvement over their earlier findings.
The fungi produce enzymes that naturally break down materials like plastics. We are lightly treating these plastics before we feed them to the fungi, in a way to mimic the natural weathering of the plastics.
In 2023, the team first discovered terrestrial fungi capable of degrading polypropylene by 21% after 30 days and up to 27% after 90 days, the highest rate of degradation documented globally. The new marine-derived fungus currently being tested shows promise to exceed plastic degrading potential of the terrestrial fungus. The polypropylene is first pre-treated with heat or UV light before being combined with the fungi in a liquid solution and left to incubate in a shaker where the degradation happens.
Our process connects the treatment steps with the biological steps in a way to optimize the degradation rate. The fungi use these enzymes to latch onto the plastics, but also to degrade them and break down the carbon into lighter compounds like carbon dioxide and water.
Polypropylene, or PP5, is used in everything from food packaging and bottle tops to automobile parts and coat hangers, but it is notoriously difficult to recycle due to contamination and its chemical structure. The team is currently working on optimizing the process so it can be scaled up and is engaging with industry stakeholders and investors for commercialization options. The team hopes that in the next few years, they will have successfully scaled it up to a commercially viable process.
That was a report by Sawsan bint Ali As-Suleymaniya. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty the Sultan greets the Russian President on the occasion of the Sovereignty Declaration Day and greets the President of the Republic of Philippines on his country's Independence Day. Assigned by His Majesty the Sultan, the Chairman of the Environment Authority participates in the 3rd United Nations Ocean Conference held in France. And and Washington and Beijing agreed to resume the truce and ease Chinese restrictions on rare earth minerals exports. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman Television. Thank you for joining us and good night.